Welcome back. A sports ground in Mumbai named after Tipu Sultan has emerged as the latest flashpoint between BJP and the Mahavikas Aghadi government in Maharashtra. The sports complex is expected to be inaugurated by Congress leader and Guardian Minister of Mumbai, Aslam Sheikh, on the occasion of Republic Day tomorrow. But even as the Congress goes ahead with its grand plan, the first hurdle it must face is that of its own alliance partner. Supporters of Shiv Sena hit the streets against giving a pride of place to Tipu Sultan. But the leadership of the ruling Shiv Sena has been silent, and that has given ammunition to the BJP, pointing out that he had massacred thousands of Hindus and destroyed several Hindu temples. BJP reminded its erstwhile ally of the Hindutva pledge Uddhav Thackeray had taken just 2 days ago. The Saffron Party also questioned if Sena had made another compromise for power and threatened to blacken Tipu's name. Listen.
ये वही टीपू सुल्तान है जिसने एक दो नहीं हजारों हिंदुओं का कत्ल किया, हिंदुओं के मंदिर तोड़े, उन्हें पीड़ित प्रताड़ित किया। उस आक्रांता का सम्मान वह भी महाराज की भूमि पर, छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की भूमि पर। ये कैसा शिवसेना का दोगला हिंदुत्व है?
Akbar's, the lieutenant, the main lieutenant was Hindu, and Rana Pratap's lieutenant was, Muslim. So never been. Even Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, there were 10,000 Muslims in his army. So see, this is what they have done last 95 years, and they believe in divide and rule.
So the legitimate question that we're asking tonight is Tipu a tyrant in 2015 but a hero in 2022?
The News Hour at 9. Debate number 2 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Joining us for more on this, Atuin Sira, National Spokesperson of the BJP. Dr. Anand Ranganathan continues to be with us. He's an author. Shriraj Nair, National Spokesperson of the VHP, is also with us. Continuing to be with us is also Kamru Zaman Chaudhary, leader of the Congress. But I want to first and foremost go across to Sanjay Gupta, Shiv Sena supporter. And let me ask Mr. Sanjay Gupta this question. Sanjay Gupta ji, सवाल ये उठता है कि अब बीजेपी एटलीस्ट ये क्वेश्चन रेज कर रही है कि कहीं ना कहीं क्या आपने अपने कोर आइडियोलॉजी पे कॉम्प्रोमाइज किया है सत्ता के लिए? ये सवाल उठा रही है बीजेपी. क्या जवाब देंगे?
नहीं, बीजेपी की सरकार आज केंद्र में है और बीजेपी के लोगों को प्रोसीजर का पता होना चाहिए. क्या ये जानते नहीं है कि किसी भी क्षेत्र का नाम वहां की जनता, वहां के चुने हुए प्रतिनिधि और सिविक एजेंसीज तय करती हैं कि किस जगह का क्या नाम हो? अगर ऐसे तो बहुत से नाम है, आप इंडिया गेट के पास ले जाए, अकबर रोड, विरोध क्यों कर रही थी सर? और ना जाने ऐसे कितने
संजय जी ये शॉट्स देखिए, ये आप ही के पार्टी के लोग हैं, शिव सैनिक है, यही विरोध कर रहे हैं और कोई नहीं कर रहा. ये बीजेपी विरोध नहीं कर रहा, ये शिव सैनिक विरोध कर रहे हैं. नहीं, अब क्या अब ये शिव सैनिक भी गलत है?
बिल्कुल, हमें भी विरोध है. नहीं, हमें भी विरोध है, लेकिन हमारे देश का संघीय ढांचा है ये केंद्र में आज इनकी सरकार है. क्यों नहीं एक नोटिफिकेशन जारी करते कि इन नामों पर नामकरण नहीं हो सकता? क्या ये सिर्फ ताली और थाली बजाने के लिए ही है? ये क्या जब चीफ मिनिस्टर
नहीं लगाए सर, जब
चीफ मिनिस्टर देवेंद्र फडणवीस थे तो औरंगाबाद का नाम ये कर पाए?
अगर आपकी सरकार के एक्शंस पर आपसे सवाल नहीं पूछेंगे तो फिर हम क्या किसी और सरकार से कैसे पूछ सकते हैं? संजय गुप्ता जी, आप कुछ लॉजिकल बात करिए. और सवाल ये भी उठता है, आपकी पार्टी के नेता आदित्य ठाकरे ने कुछ देर पहले ये भी सवाल उठाया कि क्या किसी शहर में उसी शहर के लोगों के नाम से नहीं क्या इस तरह के मैदान या स्टेडियम में नाम रखे जाने चाहिए? आप ही के पार्टी के लीडर कह रहे हैं आदित्य ठाकरे.
नहीं, देखिए, मैं आपको सिर्फ एक चीज ये बता रहा हूं माधव जी कि हमारे देश में जो प्रोसीजर है ना, वो प्रोसीजर ये है कि जो वहां के लोग हैं, जो वहां के चुने हुए प्रतिनिधि हैं, जो वहां की सिविक एजेंसीज हैं, वो इस बात का डिसीजन लेती हैं कि किसी क्षेत्र का नाम क्या रखा जाएगा. अगर किसी के
बीएमसी, जहां तक मेरी जानकारी, बीएमसी भी आप ही के कंट्रोल में है. बट आई वुड लेट टू इन सिन्हा कम इन.
तो इस प्रोसीजर को चेंज करने की जरूरत है.
टू इन सिन्हा, व्हाट इज दिस ब्यूरोक्रेटिक हर्डल दैट मिस्टर संजय गुप्ता इज रेफरिंग टू? बिकॉज़ आई एम अनेबल टू अंडरस्टैंड इट.
नहीं, वो कुछ भी कहें उनको नहीं पता है. देखिए माधव, महाराष्ट्र इज द ग्रेट लैंड ऑफ शिवाजी महाराज एंड वीर सावरकर, एंड बाय अलाउइंग अ स्टेडियम टू बी नेम्ड आफ्टर टीपू सुल्तान, Shiv Sena has permanently dismantled the legacy of the great Bal Thackeray, who would never have allowed this. And why do I say Tipu Sultan was a self-confessed bigot? I am quoting from primary sources of history. In
औरंगाबाद का नाम भी चेंज करने की बहुत कोशिश की गई थी। क्या आप बता सकते हैं क्यों नहीं चेंज हो पाया वो? देवेंद्र फडणवीस भी मुख्यमंत्री रहे 5 साल, बता सकते हैं आप मुझे?
माधव,
इसकी लेगेसी चेंज होगी, उनकी लेगेसी चेंज होगी।
ओके संजय जी आपको किसी ने डिस्टर्ब नहीं किया?
कभी आपकी लेगेसी चेंज हो गई?
संजय जी
कर पाए चेंज?
आप थोड़ा सा
संजय जी ये कुछ संजय जी लिमिटेड टाइम है, प्लीज संजय जी आप इनका जवाब दे सकते हैं। लेट तुहिन सिन्हा मेक हिज पॉइंट, उसके बाद आप जवाब दीजिए उनका। तुहिन सिन्हा
was a self-confessed bigot if I simply quote from primary sources of history. But anyway, since he has wasted time, let me come to something more contemporary. Raza Academy in Maharashtra, which has been notorious for stoking violence in Malegaon in the name of protesting against, a fake demolition. अरे बीच में शांत रहिए यार. They have been directly patronizing Raza Academy, number one. Secondly, Malwani, where the stadium is being constructed, is Maharashtra's Kairana. If you look at documents available, news reports available in the media, in the last few years, there has been mass exodus of Hindus from Malwani, and Shiv Sena has been directly patronizing it because it has become subservient to the Congress parties whose MLA, which has an MLA in that area. So I don't think somebody more, informed about Mumbai should be talking about these issues.
Kamru Zaman Chaudhary, somewhere or the other, the position that has been taken by Mr. Aslam Sheikh has embarrassed the Shiv Sena, because Aditya Thackeray coming out to say that he is going to get more details. The Shiv Seniks themselves protesting at that particular location. Perhaps this is something that could have very easily been avoided by the Congress's guardian minister for Mumbai.
Madhav, I could not hear you. There is a network issue, but anyway, whatever I could grasp, let me just come to the moot point out here. The basic point is that who is Tipu Sultan and what is his relation to the freedom struggle of India from the British? That needs to be studied. Now, the Sangh Parivar historians who are hell-bent on changing the history of India.
Sir, is it not a fact that he committed atrocities on those of other religions, whether Hindus or Christians? Is it not a fact?
That will be educative for your viewers also. Your lauded viewers know everything. Just I want to remind you, this Sangh Parivar nowadays in the 21st century, they are bringing us some events correlated to a violent history, a medieval history that India went through, the colonial past, wherein there are instances of hundreds of conflicts between the Hindus and Muslims in the past. They are bringing those issues into the present context and trying to vilify a section of the population staying in India.
We have limited time. Kamru Zaman Chaudhary, we have limited time, but there are different quotes of Mr. Tipu Sultan from his letter to Burdu's Zaman Khan on 19 January 1970 to Syed Abdul Dulai, where he talks about, converting all Hindus in Calicut to Islam, to Ranmus Khan, where he says, we proceeded with utmost speed, at once made prisoners of 40,000 occasions, seeking and sedition exciting Kurgis who alarmed at the approach of a vicious army had slunk into the woods. There are several examples of what he has himself said. And my question is today, perhaps there was no secular democracy at that point of time, as you're rightly saying, but at the end of the day, if there is a person who is talking on completely communal lines, is there a right for people to protest against him or not?
He built 135 temples of the Hindus. Those nobody will tell you. He built 135 temples of Hindus. What Muhammad Ghazni destroyed the Somnath temple.
Okay. I want to bring in Dr. Anand Ranganathan on that. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, we are ignoring his contribution to the freedom struggle, says Kamru Zaman Chaudhary. He is not disputing the fact that his legacy in terms of the actions against members of other communities, including Hindus and Christians, that is well documented. He is not disputing that, but he says that as a nation, the fact that he fought against the British, should that be completely ignored? Your response?
Now, Madhav, I've been waiting to my esteemed fellow panelists.
Please give me a couple of minutes because it's very important. There are two issues here. Number one, हो ना हो, मैं मिस्टर संजय गुप्ता जो कि शिवसेना के स्पोक्स पर्सन है, उनसे कुछ हद तक मैं एग्री करता हूं, बिकॉज हमें इस हिपोक्रेसी में नहीं पड़ना है। तू मैं पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज, तुमने एक रिपोर्ट, उनका पॉइंट जायज है। 7 साल से सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट है, अभी भी दिल्ली में औरंगजेब लेन है। 5 साल से महाराष्ट्र में गवर्नमेंट थी, बीजेपी की और शिवसेना की या बीजेपी की, अभी भी औरंगाबाद का नाम औरंगाबाद ही है, चेंज नहीं हुआ है। एनडीए गवर्नमेंट बिहार में अभी भी नालंदा को जिसने जलाया वहां का रेलवे स्टेशन बख्तियारपुर है। तो पहले अपनी गरीबान में झांक के देखिए। लेकिन माधव, आप प्लीज यू ट्राई एंड अंडरस्टैंड द इशू हैज टू बी डेल्ट विद साइकोलॉजिकली. इट इज फिलोसॉफिकल. It is not this political tutu meme. So please give me a couple of minutes. It's very important. I'm going to deal with only facts. History, Madhav,
that is written by the victors is peddled by the vanquished. For 70 years, we have been taught to forget historical injustices. We have been taught to eulogize genocidal mass murderers. There are hundreds of examples, but just one would suffice, Tipu Sultan. And one must read his manifesto. It is written in his own words. It is a terrifying proclamation calling for all Muslims, quote, to come together to convert infidels and wage jihad. Quote, whoever refuses to obey would be treated as an accursed infidel, unquote. Here is Tipu Sultan in his own words to Budru Khan, quote, you did right to circumcise the captive knives, unquote. Tipu Sultan was outraged, Madhav, that some Muslim rulers weren't following the tenets of Islam and had turned supporters of the infidels. Quote, annihilation of the infidels was a sacred duty, he wrote admonishingly. The Hindus of Kurd suffered a particularly brutal onslaught by Tipu Sultan, and in their thousands, murders, tortures, forced conversions, no one was spared. Even dead Hindus were converted, even dead Hindus. Tipu destroyed 800 temples, 27 churches, captured 60,000 Christians, converted 30,000, killed thousands, emptied Bangalore of them. 400,000 Malabar Hindus were converted to Islam by Tipu Sultan, who considered this a jihad. Descendants of Mandya Mahingars do not celebrate Diwali till this day. Ever wondered why, Madhav? He butchered them on Diwali. Read the personal account of butchery by Tipu Sultan in Calicut by Bartolomeo. Men, women and children were paraded naked and trampled by elephants. Tipu tortured, murdered, converted tens of thousands of Hindus and Christians, destroyed their temples and churches, openly called for jihad against them. And yet, Congress calls them symbol of communal harmony. Just 10 seconds, Madhav, 10 seconds, I beg of you. The Indian left, this is important. The Indian left cheered when the statue of the evil racist King Leopold was removed in Belgium. But celebrate Tipu Jayanti because tyrants are not tyrants but heroes. Praising Tipu is like praising King Leopold for building roads and ports in Congo.
Balancing out ivory trade and a million murders.
All right.
Madhav, there is no difference between Tipu Sultan apologies and
we're almost out of time. Almost out of time. Quick reaction from Mr. Shriraj Nair. Mr. Shriraj, I think there's one important point that Dr. Anand Ranganathan, while I'm sure you would agree with what he has said, but one important point. He's saying that charity begins at home. The BJP, which is protesting this issue, should also reflect on what is there or the current status of roads, etc., that are named against tyrants in the national capital. Your response to that, Mr. Shriraj Nair.
Well, Madhav, I've been listening very patiently. This question you should have asked to the BJP spokesperson who is right here. Well, what we are here is we are going to protest tomorrow. We will have hundreds of Karyakartas tomorrow, and we have been warning for last 2 days. If anything as far as law and order is going to occur, it is the sole responsibility of Aslam Sheikh, who is not only the MLA of that area. I was listening to the Shiv Sena spokesperson. I stay just bang opposite this place where this garden is going to be named. So tomorrow, Aslam Sheikh is not only the MLA, he's the guardian minister. Being a guardian, he had better things.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you because we're completely out of time. Mr. Shriraj Nair, I'd like to thank you, Tuin Sinha, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, Kamruzaman Chaudhary and Sanjay Gupta for joining us on the show this evening. With that, it's a wrap for the News Hour at 9.